Hello everybody, this is a short video to simply show a few recent Opinels, limited edition Opinels that have been released. Let's have first a look at this one. So you, with some effort, you can find them on internet stores. Opinel. If you don't know Opinels, you know perhaps that I have made another video where you see various types in various sizes of Opinels. It's an interesting old design, it's already more than 100 years old, and they come in different sizes, are French, are characterized by this typical turning lock, which is not designed for quick opening, but it looks reliably, and also they have a tremendously good value. Now the limited ones are a bit more expensive, but still way below what you expect of most pocket knives. They are tremendously good slicers, always, because they have a thin blade, as you can see, around 2 mm perhaps. So notice here I cannot open the blade of this one, so I turn it like this so that you see you could see the slit in the handle. The handle is in this case, so I open it, and now you can lock it this way. So it's so simple. That's why beautiful things are usually very simple, in my opinion. This one, because being the limited ones, often they have a polished blade, as you can see. The really cheap ones don't have it. But I think with the polished blades it slices even a bit better. Notice again how thin the blade is. There's one thing you have to watch out with Opinels. Actually, the tips are a bit fragile. This is the number 8 in size, which is a typical mid-range length of Opinels, which is usually seen as this one, or so you see it's 8 centimeters long. That's where the 8 comes from. Typically people prefer as a pocket knife often the 8, sometimes the 7, sometimes the 9 for general use, depending on your hand size, and you see the 8. So what is limited about it? Well, especially the handle material. And this is it's not a cheap multiplex, actually. It's a really good quality Scandinavian high quality kind of multiplex. It's called Old School. This model, which makes a bit of reference to surfing boards from the 1950s, I believe. I think it's very chic. I think I love this. This is a perfectly acceptable non-aggressive pocket knife. What you have with Opinels, so I close them now. This one works very well, but these are wooden handles. Watch out that they don't swell when, they will swell when wet. Most of them, actually. If that happens, then it gets more difficult to open it. There is a trick that they use. So you actually hit on some hard surface. You hit the hilt of the knife, and then you will see, for the ones that get stuck, that the blade gets loose a bit. So you can still open it. That is somewhere, something that is still from this old design. That's why it would be fun if they had a few synthetic handles as well, with which you would never have that. But I think this is very nice. The 8 Old School, you can find them if you look around, limited edition. The other one is it's not a recent, it's somewhat older, I think from a few years ago, limited edition. It came in this nice box. Actually, there are two knives here this is one of the smallest ones. This is the number 2. It doesn't have a lock, actually. It is just a small friction folder. Look here. Let's see the length, which it's actually 3.5 centimeter here. So it's not exactly 2 centimeter. The 8 was 8 centimeter. But it's a small friction folder, which I think, well, it's something that a woman could have in her purse or you could have even in the hardest non-knife oriented organization. You could still have this to open little packages or so, because, well, don't be mistaken, it is pretty sharp. Oh, I forgot to say, the steel on Opinels is Sandvik. It's probably 12C27, which is a very good mid-range steel, actually, and very stainless. So what is now interesting about these two? Well, actually they have an ebony wood handle, which I think it feels nice, and it has a lovely dark color. So this is a special, ebony, actually there's not just one ebony. Oh yes, here you see, by the way, the little pouch for it. in the presentation box. So some ebony is very dark and that feels a bit different. This is a different kind of ebony, which is a bit browner, as you can see. It has some nice structure in it. So it's an amusing one. So this one is also an 8, like the other one was, but with an ebony handle. So I open it. It's actually a bit stiffer, this one. So here the trick of hitting with the hilt could help. Also this one has also polished blade, as often with those limited ones. Oh, again, very beautiful. Like I said, if you want to know more about the history, have a look at my other video clip. I want to end this actually with just showing that you have to watch out a bit with Opinels. I have given this one, this is a 7, slightly smaller, as you can see, the 7. Especially women like this to use this, for example, on a picnic for cooking then. Because it's a bit better for smaller hands. You can see it's indeed a bit smaller. It's still a very nice pocket knife, here in a green finish. And you see here this one is not polished. It's you have a bit of reflection, but not as much as the other ones. Here the lock had fallen off. Well, actually, it's my brother-in-law who wanted to open the knife, and so typically when you get them, you lock them also when closed for security. I think that he simply didn't look, and he simply really forced this open with a lot of brutal force instead of first turning it open, and that is how the locking ring came off. So I mean, okay, you have to watch out a bit, but here now you see how simple and elegant the locking mechanism actually is here. So it simply slides in the two directions, and you can lock your knife both in the open and the closed position with it. It's so beautifully simple. So at the moment it's a simple friction folder, but I will with a little wrench I will get this up on it again and give it back. So I hope you found this an interesting small update. Opinels, or if you don't have an Opinel, you really owe it to yourself to try them out. Why not immediately one with a lovely kind of more exotic wood handle and a polished blade? And so yes, it can be that they are a bit stiff to open. You can try a bit of oil, it won't help very much. Especially try to keep the handle dry. You could try to varnish the handle, some people do that. There are also some models with carbon steel. I have one or two, but the limited ones usually are with stainless standard steel. So I summarize here with the old school, an ebony handle with here also very small lovely border, and here this is as contrast the number 7 actually with a broken lock. So I hope you found this interesting, and as usual feel free to leave feedback.